you create this very useful, neat, simple, deployable viewpoint, and how you condition and influence other people. I got two POK questions, so I'll put them together. Look, today, yes, things are, there is a certain ferment happening in POK. I think you can see it in social media, you can see it on television. The analysis of it is very complex, but definitely I have no doubt in my own mind that someone living in POK is comparing their situation with someone actually living in Jammu and Kashmir and saying that, how is it that people today are actually progressing there. And they know that sense of being under occupation, or being discriminated, or being treated badly. I think clearly that any such comparison would be preying on their minds. And, the gentleman there actually asked me, POK, when would it merge? I don't know what you mean by merge, because it has been India, it is always India. So, yes. So, if you ask me when will the occupation end, I think that's what you meant. So I actually find it very interesting. Till 370, when 370 was continuing, in our own country, actually there was not much discussion about POK. There was at one point in the 1990s, in fact, where some pressure was put on us by Western countries at that time. And then at that time, this was during Narasimha Rao's government, Parliament actually unanimously passed a resolution on POK. But after that, actually the debate in this country, and I would say in many ways the public interest in this country receded. But when we actually moved on 370 and finally put an end to what was a temporary provision of the Constitution, which should never have continued for that long, and which was actually, in a way, fueling the separatism and violence and terrorism. I think people across the country today actually have become aware of the, of our history, of the mistakes that were made in the past. In fact, often I go a lot to universities. People are very interested. They ask me, why did we go to UN on Kashmir? When I tell them, read the history, that, Sardar Patel had very deep reservations, but it was something that Nehru personally pushed at that time. And in fact, one of Sardar Patel's warnings on this was, because again, I come to the West in a way, he said, don't subject your interest to the judgment of other people who may have their own interest in this matter. And the West had an interest. We were going to them like a judge. The judge was party to the whole dispute. So this today, I think, is to me, a very interesting awareness in this country, an interest in this country. And usually, when once a country becomes aware and interest, then things happen. So we have to wait and watch. Now, the whole issue of, I think, demographic change issue. Look, we are a country, we need today, if we are talking of good governance, if we are talking of being a modern state, the basic obligation of the state is to protect its borders. Leaving your borders